Hi, I'm Leo Rothschild. This is the carbon cycle, flowchart number 1, starting in our very own cherry tree at Phillips Academy. So there's a lot going on here, but let's focus on the leaves of this cherry tree. So through the holes in the leaves, which are called the stomata, we have the guard cells that can open. You're going to have the absorption of CO2. So CO2 is where we're going to start. That's the carbon we're going to focus on to begin with. In photosynthesis, you obviously will need sunlight, CO2, as well as H2O to make glucose and oxygen. So this glucose that we're going to focus on, that's going to be absorbed in the plant, that CO2 is going to be converted into carbon in the form of glucose. So that carbon in the formula for glucose, which is C6H12O6, is now going to be a viable source of energy and a key nutrient in the cherry tree. So how's it transported? Well, it's transported through the sort of highway system in the plant called the phloem. The phloem will transport nutrients down or anywhere the plant really needs, whether it be in the fruit, the leaves, or the roots. Another way I like to think of it is like the blood vessels in your body will transport the nutrients wherever we need, and it's very efficient like that. So now that you understand how the plant will absorb CO2 and use it for key nutrients, how does that CO2 get back so other plants can use it? Well, plants themselves can actually respire through plant respiration and produce CO2. So, we have these trees drawn over here, like the many trees that we have at PA. We also have the cherry tree itself, which will produce CO2. We have a few animals here, a human and a dog, which can be respiring, producing more CO2 to go back into the atmosphere. But now looking at these animals here, these animals can decay, become detritus, and you have detrivores, which are different microbes and fungi that can help decompose organic material. Also, this leaf over here, right here it says carbon goes from fallen leaves into soil. Yes, it does. So you have all these things in the soil, and you have detrivores to help out, and a lot of that CO2 could be released, but also a ton of it is going to be converted into fossil fuels. And that brings us over to Presky Commons, and also you have cars and things like that use fossil fuels as energy to do certain industrial practices that we do today. And now burning fossil fuels emits a lot of CO2. That obviously can be problematic because of global warming, and as CO2 rises, temperatures are also rising. So another source is over here at Rabbit Pond. Really, Rabbit Pond, obviously there's going to be, down low there's going to be some plankton, there's obviously fish, and there's algae. Algae is like the main plant that's going to be in Rabbit Pond that I've seen many times, and that's going to be kind of like the cherry tree because it's going to do photosynthesis and feed the fish and things like that. But it's also going to do plant respiration. So there's more CO2 there. The fish, there's more CO2 there because they're going to do animal respiration just like the human and the dog. But all this CO2 in the air can also go and acidify Rabbit Pond. Obviously, maybe not Rabbit Pond, but we talked about ocean acidification and how we have CO2, H2O forming carbonic acid, and the whole process of how the protons in the ocean and things like that will acidify and increase or decrease the pH of the ocean. And cause ocean or Rabbit Pond acidification. So this is just a brief introduction to the carbon cycle in our very own cherry tree. Thank you for watching.